Mute yourself. Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we take you through the top trending stories of what is happening in and around the city. Good morning, Shahir.
Good morning, Simran. Your hair looks good.
I am going to punch your face. Is it looking bad?
No, it looks really great, I swear.
You always try to sabotage me.
That's
always.
Not true.
That's your main goal in life.
That's not true. I want the best for everyone.
So today's stories are residents living outside the UAE for over 6 months will need to apply for a re-entry permit.
And Al Minhad area renamed to Hind City.
And Dubai is becoming one of the world's most popular wedding destinations. But let's get back to Shahir just being a serial sabotager.
You're blowing things out of proportion.
Am I?
You're creating narratives in your head.
Am I?
Yes.
Yes.
Your hair looks great. And the earrings? You know what they say? The earrings are great.
So you're sabotaging me right now. Is that because Alibaba was sabotaging us in the morning? Is it just like a domino effect?
So we're convinced basically that earlier today, me and Simran put everything up for the stories today on the wrong date. But we're convinced that our colleague, Ali at the back, has changed it just to make us look dumb.
Well, you know what? The worst kind of sabotage are the kinds that your colleagues, that you consider your friends, do to you.
We're a team. You think we're a team. You think we work together. But in all reality, they're out to get you.
Exactly. So should we go over some instances when your colleagues can possibly sabotage you?
Intentionally or unintentionally? Tell me. Hit me with your first one.
Okay. Blackmailing you with your secrets for a free Starbucks.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It wasn't blackmail. It was a proposition.
Is that hitting close to home?
It was a threat.
It was a threat.
Okay, what about...
Whatever you call it.
What about last-minute briefings 10 minutes before you leave? And you think you're going home for the day, but really someone hits you with something and you have to stay an extra hour.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
There's a special place in hell for people like that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like, come on. Mentally, I'm prepared to leave home, be somewhere else, but no.
It's like, get this done before you leave. Like,
yeah.
Anything else?
The eye twitch, that's funny. What's your next one?
Okay. So, asking the office where you are when they very well know you're going to be late for work.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's like, where is she here? Huh, I wonder where he is.
Yeah.
Knowing, and like you just texted them like 2 minutes ago, oh, hey, I'll be 10 minutes late. Just cover for me. But they don't cover for you.
I don't know. It's an obligation. As producer, it is nothing but my duty. Okay, how about when you're having lunch break? Okay?
Okay.
And the next thing you know, someone's looking for you and wants something during your lunch break. That's sabotage of peace of mind.
That's true. During the lunch breaks.
Yeah.
And calling you out for taking longer lunch breaks than you have.
Yes.
Yes.
That's even worse.
But is it worse is it sabotage or is it calling someone out for their, nonsense? What is that?
What about when you're taking a nap in the nap rooms that your office so graciously has, and then someone asks where you are, and then you say, oh, I think they're in the nap room. It's been a while.
I feel like that is a very niche. It's not very, like populous or affects the masses.
If the shoe fits, if the shoe fits.
The shoe fits. Okay, putting your mic on mute before a show.
Okay, no, that's too niche. The shoe doesn't fit. It's more of a slipper.
That. Like, literally imagine that. And we are live. There's no sound.
Literally.
It was done on purpose.
And everyone's like, are you miming? What about when you come up with a really great idea and you're like, boy, this is the one. You tell it to someone, and then that someone tells the next person.
Taking credit for your presentation or ideas.
Yes.
Major sabotage.
Wrong on so many levels.
But how do you deal with that? Like, imagine, like, we come up with something. I mean, I come up with something, and like you take the credit for it in a presentation room.
Yeah.
Right? How do you tell people? How do you tell your colleagues? Like, no, wait, that was not his idea. It was my idea. Because it could be something quite innovative. It could be a game changer, and it could, even change your path in the office.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a very difficult one to deal with.
Like, you don't want a tattletale.
The worst kind of sabotage are the ones where your credit is taken from you.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. And then let us know, guys, how have your colleagues sabotaged you, or are you the sabotager? How does it work? And then there's also like, zooming in your face when they're taking pictures of you.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. What about? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why I did a little wave there. I was like, that is a tricky one.
Right? I mean, I'm talking about Alibaba in specific. Anytime he zooms into our faces.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Like, too
Thankfully,
much.
not on live.
Like, way too much. Sometimes.
For sure.
Like, stop it.
For sure.
Stop that.
Ali, take a hint.
Take a hint. I think this whole segment was just dedicated to Alibaba and his sabotaging ways. Anyway, tenacity for you.
Employee of the month there.
Was this us sabotaging him getting employee of the month?
No, 100% he deserves it. He always deserves it.
He does deserve it. He so deserves it. That was funny, like how it just took such a U-turn for Alibaba. Now we'll jump into our first story. UAE residency visa holders staying outside the country for over 6 months will have to apply for a re-entry permit. Now residents will need to specify a reason for staying outside the UAE for that period and may need to provide proof of why they were out. And residents can apply for the service on the Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Port Security (ICP) website. And the service is called Issue Permit for Staying Outside UAE for over 6 months and can be found under Smart Services.
So the applicant can re-enter the country only after getting an approval email from the ICP. The approval process takes about 5 days, so be aware of that. Residency is typically cancelled automatically if the holder has been outside of the country for 180 days, but an exception is made for the people with golden visas who can remain abroad for as long as they need, and it wouldn't affect their visa situation at all.
Exactly. Now, the new entry permit system is the latest in a string of changes to the visa and the residency system implemented recently. Now, the fees to avail of ICP services, including those to issue visa and Emirates IDs, went up by 100 dirhams earlier this month, and visit visas can no longer be extended within the UAE. Now, holders having to exit the country and come back on a fresh visa. So this is for those holding visit visas. And the ICP also recently standardized the fine on overstaying visas in the country to 50 dirhams. Tourist and visit visa holders who overstay will pay 50 dirhams a day instead of 100 dirhams. And those overstaying on residency visa will have to pay double dirhams, which is 50 dirhams, instead of 25 dirhams. So all of these visa rules will be up on our website very, very shortly. But it's super important that anytime the government updates us with new visa laws or new visa changes, that we are so aware of what is happening and we read it and we bookmark it and we just go over it just to know how it affects us and if it affects us.
Well said.
Yeah.
It is convenient for those people that obviously want to read it, because at times you're not even sure of what your situation is.
Yeah.
You always want to come back to Dubai. Everyone always wants to come back to Dubai. It's good to know that for the people with visa holders, it doesn't affect them in any way. But just with the inconsistency of the digital nomads more specifically, that's what I'm thinking about. They have it so easy to be wherever they want. So you don't want the accessibility to come and go, and with other countries, it's not as easy. So yet again, the UAE is just doing its thing, and
there's so many factors that come into play for this. It's like being a digital nomad, like you said, a freelancer, and then if you have health crisis or a family crisis, or during COVID, there was that whole issue of being stranded abroad and the lockdowns and travel restrictions. And for example, you're coming maybe 5 days before your visa expires, and those 5 days something goes wrong. So you are overstaying the 6 months. You are out of the country for over 6 months, so you can apply for that re-entry permit and just state your reason, in cases of emergencies. So it's just another introduced benefit for residents to come back more hassle-free.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to our next story. So Al Mid area has been renamed to Hind City. So His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE, issued directives to rename the Al Minad area and its surrounding vicinity to Hind City.
Now, the city includes 4 zones, Hind 1, Hind 2, Hind 3, and Hind 4, and spans an area of 83.9 kilometers. The city is served by major Dubai roads, including Emirates Road, Dubai Al Ain Road, and Jebel Ali Lahbab Road. And the city also includes housing for Emirati citizens. So, a very interesting name change. Hind.
Hind's a name in Arabic.
Okay.
For clarification.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll get more updates on this road shortly or in the coming weeks. But it's mostly right now they're focusing on making it like a central for Emirati citizens and their housings and all of that, because they had like big projects that they announced last year for Emiratis and like just developments for them.
I'm happier with the area change than the metro stations because I find that less confusing.
Yeah, I mean, an area changing is fine as long as like there's a one defining name, right? Like you get that. But metro stations changing to names of brands instead of the name of the area or the location, that is beyond confusing. Because it's like I would like, for example,
like I don't want to name any companies or like put anything out there, but it is super confusing. Like I had friends visit not too long ago and they were confused by the names as well, and you have to explain.
I don't understand. Like it should just very well be powered by, sponsored by.
Yeah, totally agree.
You know, and like for example, the other day someone's like they're staying at Al Quoz. So I'm like, why don't you take the Al Quoz metro station? They're like, there is no Al Quoz metro station. I'm like, there is definitely a metro station near Al Quoz. And they're like, okay, well, when I put the Al Quoz metro station on the maps, it doesn't show up. Then I'm like, it has a different name. But like, what's a different name? I'm like, I don't know what the different name is. It's one of the names of the metro station, like one of the metro stops. They're like, okay, but then what do we put on the maps? And like put the area, and somehow it came up. But it's still like quite a process, or like unnecessary conversation to have had.
Yeah, I can tell. It's really struck a chord with you. It really has.
It's like, hello. I mean, just Google it.
Totally, 100%. Even when you Google it, it's confusing because then you're not sure which one.
Yeah.
But that's just like a glitch in the matrix, I guess.
Because see, right now there's, I think the whole world is constantly always down at the World Trade Center for exhibitions and conferences and all of that. Now imagine the World Trade Center was renamed to, let's say, Sharika, the Sharika store. Square. Or Trafalgar. And people would just be like, so confused because it's one of the main areas.
Yeah.
It's just so...
They're like super central as well.
Yeah, that's a trade center area.
Yeah.
And the metro station is named the same as well, like DIFC.
Wow, you feel so strongly about this, even more strongly than I have.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's common sense. I feel like people are just struggling. People are like, confused. They have questions.
I'm just glad I have a car.
Well,
you should get one. We spoke about this.
I should totally get a car. I feel like when the economy allows me to, I would. Or when my parents get me one, I will.
Seems like your parents are sabotaging you.
All right, yeah. Or they're spoiling someone else. Not my parents. Their parents.
I don't know, maybe.
It's like a spoiled person mentality.
I don't know, maybe you don't know their backstory.
Asking your parents for a car?
Yeah.
Their backstory? What could their...
It helps them get from one destination to another.
Okay.
Speak of destinations.
Oh, nice segue. Dubai is becoming one of the world's most popular wedding destinations now. Surprise.
Right? But not really.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Pure sarcasm. So a growing number of wedding and event planners across the world recommend the city to couples as the perfect venue to celebrate their weddings. And Dubai hosted the 5th edition of the Dubai Global Wedding Excellence, which is GWE Retreat and Forum from January 9th until the 10th. And these efforts are in line with the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and the ruler of Dubai, to make the city the world's most visited destination.
So over 70 international wedding planners, experts and companies from key source markets attended the event on Jan 9th and 10th. The retreat saw strong participation from Dubai, traditional and emerging markets, including countries from the Middle East, Africa and Asia, as well as India, the UK and the US. The event showcased 11 hotel groups in the city, including their new out-of-the-box venues, as well as 12 major wedding industry suppliers. And Dubai was named the #1 global destination for 2 successive years in the TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Awards.
Okay, so if you guys were to get married, I am 100% sure Dubai would definitely be a consideration.
Yeah, for sure, because it is cheaper. We live here, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really a destination wedding for us, but almost every 5 kilometers down the road you go, that's a different destination.
Yeah.
So it would still be hard to pick a wedding venue here.
Oh yeah, and they're just so, if whatever, like they have a range, whether you want to go all out, fancy, luxurious,
Yeah.
you have the hotel venues for that. Whether you want to go like a little, you know, take a step back, you want to go more nature, you go Hatta, you go Rak, you know, you get like book one of the resorts, go for one of those. You know, like it's just anything or any concept you have in mind, Dubai really does have a venue in place for that. Now, if we check the comments that you guys put up on the post, they are so good. People are just like, Dubai is truly a beautiful city for destination weddings. If you're thinking of the perfect place to bring your dream wedding to reality, think Dubai. Where would you have your wedding, Shahir? If you had a destination wedding? Because your home is Oman, so any place would be a destination for you, right?
In Oman, any place would be a destination.
No, I mean like
within the city, because like the beauty, whatever. Anyways, we're not on the same page. I'll just do whatever like country I'm in or whatever city I'm in.
You just do it there.
Yeah, easy, convenient. I'm not paying for your tickets if you think that's what I'm gonna do. You know, like.
Oh, we know that. You don't need to say it. We know it.
Yeah, don't sabotage my wedding. You know.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just do whatever city I'm in. Honestly, it's easy, accessible. Whatever city I'm in is probably where I want to lay my roots and everything. So that's where I'll have my people. My parents, they can fly out themselves. But yeah, you?
I mean, all this while I'm like a destination wedding, Bali. But now it's like you think of it and you think of what kind of a hassle it is to do it in another country, get everything organized. Like because
how do you afford it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like you have to take out a loan.
For a wedding, oh my gosh, imagine
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I love big weddings.
Like,
so I would say it is, but I guess it's not. But I guess it's what you want. Like if it's worth it to you, it's worth it. If it's not worth it to you, it's not.
And you have to figure, how do you ship all the like plates and flower arrangements to another country?
Yeah, that's why you call, I think, arrange. You don't ship all that, you get it arranged in that place itself.
That makes more sense. A lot goes into it. I don't think wedding destinations are for me, but totally 1000% understand why destination weddings in Dubai specifically would be the ideal situation for other people.
And especially for the bride and groom, right? Like they have to like like they have to like transport all of their heavy suits and their like whatever attire that they're wearing and the jewelry and then the customs and then this and that and baggage allowance. It's just like too much. I don't know. Like I would think it's way too much. For like it's stressful. It's like already it's stressful as is getting married and a wedding and then your guests and the preparations and then to do all of that in a different country.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
But I mean that's what if Dubai is the place for destination weddings, it's just you know that Dubai is it makes it that convenient for its guests.
Yeah, just cut me some slack, you know?
I got you.
And let's keep the wedding where it should be.
Exactly. Or take it to Dubai if you're not in Dubai.
Yeah, if you're not in Dubai, it makes sense that you want it in Dubai. If you're anywhere else...
Enough wedding talks.
I don't know.
You guys stay tuned because after a very short break, we will be going live with a surprise guest.